Today, we are stepping into the gold and green frenzy of Oakland in the spring of 1981. It's April 19th. The Oakland Athletics, under fiery manager Billy Martin, have already won their first 10 games of the season. They're swinging hard, pitching like aces, and playing with that reckless Billy Ball abandon that has the whole league buzzing. Today, at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, they face the Seattle Mariners in a doubleheader. One more win in the opener, and they shatter the modern record for the best start in the season. The old mark 10 straight wins set by the 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers and tied by the 62 Pirates and 66 Indians. The A's are about to make it 11 with speed, power, style, and a side of benches clearing drama. Let's set the scene. The A's come into this game riding a wave. In their first 10 outings, they've scored 57 runs while allowing 13. Their starting rotation, Mike Norris, Rick Langford, Matt Keogh, Steve McCatty, and Brian Kingman, is being called baseball's five aces. A week later, Sports Illustrated will put them on the cover under the headline, The Amazing A's and Their Five Aces. And it wasn't just the arms doing the damage. In right field, Tony Armas was absolutely launching bombs. 6 home runs and 16 RBIs already during the streak. The big Venezuelan slugger provided the thunder in the middle of the order, while young Rickey Henderson supplied the lightning with his speed. Together with Dwayne Murphy patrolling center field, they formed one of the best all-around outfields in baseball. Bottom of the third inning against Mariners starter Floyd Bannister. Scoreless game so far. Henderson steps in and he crushes a line drive to center field. For most players, that's a stand-up double. Not Rickey. He rounds the bases like a golden green blur, never slowing, and slides into third with a triple. Along the way, he drives in catcher Jeff Newman and shortstop Rob Piccolo. The A's lead 2-0. The crowd is on its feet. This is the kind of electric speed that signals a new era in Oakland. Henderson isn't done. In the bottom of the seventh, he rips a double to left. Dave Revering drives him home, and Tony Armas adds a double of his own as the A's push their lead and eventually win Game 1 by a final of 6-1. Mike Norris is dealing on the mound 6 strong innings, keeping the Mariners in check. 11 straight wins to open the season. Record broken. The Coliseum erupts, but this wasn't just about the scoreboard. The on-field excitement spilled over into pure chaos. Earlier in the game, A's pitcher Mike Norris threw one inside to Seattle's Lenny Randle. Randle didn't like it. He started jawing with A's catcher Jeff Newman. Words flew and then fists. Newman took Randle down to the ground in a tackle. Both benches cleared in a full-blown brawl. The first of 2 that day between these teams. Randle was ejected. Billy Martin never wanted to back down from a scrap. Leather said of Randle, Lenny is a real good guy and I really like him, but I won't forget what he did today. Randle's reply, classic old school baseball. That's the way I was taught to play. The A's were playing tough, and Martin loved it. This was his kind of team, scrappy, fearless, and ready to fight for every inch. After the first game, the A's lost the nightcap 3-2 in the 8th inning of Game 2. Richie Zisk crushed a solo homer off Rick Langford to help the Mariners snap the streak. But what a way to go out. Billy Martin, ever the realist in the moment of triumph, kept things in perspective. I would have preferred to win that second game to be setting the record. Records are all right, but they don't give me a thrill. Wins and pennants are what get me excited. Wise words. The Atlanta Braves would break the mark with 13 straight in 1982. The Brewers tied it in 87, and the Rays did it again in 2023. Well, one electric afternoon in 1981, the swinging A's owned the record books. This wasn't just a hot start. It was the dawn of something special. Rickey Henderson that season stole 56 bases, scored 89 runs, collected 135 hits, and finished second in AL MVP voting despite a strike-shortened year. Tony Armas would tie for the AL home run lead with 22 and finish 4th in MVP voting. The A's would win the AL West, sweep the Royals in the first round of the split season playoffs before falling to the Yankees in the ALCS. Manager Maury Wills of the Mariners summed it up perfectly that day. They are doing everything right, and what they're doing is good for Oakland, good for our league, and good for baseball. So why does April 19th, 1981 deserve a spot on the Dates with Destiny calendar? Because it captured baseball as it is, at its raw, fun, unpredictable best. A record-setting streak fueled by a young superstar speed, a slugger's power from Tony Armas, a rotation of aces, and enough on-field fire to clear the benches twice. It was the perfect snapshot of Billy Ball, aggressive, entertaining, and impossible to ignore. For a brief shining moment, the A's looked unstoppable, and even though the record didn't last, the memory of Rickey flying around the bases, almost delivering the power, the brawls, and the electric start still feels like destiny in the making. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Dates with Destiny, a Small Baseball podcast. I'm Mr. Baseball signing off for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.